Felipe.
I'm Lillian. We're the Postmodern family. Thank you guys so much. If you've seen our channel before, we do videos about Americans living in the UK, traditional family life, and my pregnancy. So if you are interested in any of those topics, we recommend you to subscribe.
This episode today is a little bit of a catch-up episode because we're going to talk about a trip we've taken to France. It was our first anniversary here. I decided that we were going to drive to France. A Chunnel trip. The Chunnel is a tunnel underneath the British Channel.
It actually reminded me of kind of like a Back to the Future ride in Universal Studios or something like that. I thought it was cool because it felt really futuristic. So you drive into basically a big train or subway underground. Yeah. And
you drive your car into the train. And then the train goes into the tunnel.
When you drive in, it's all open. Yeah, you all drive in, but then it separates.
That's not locking though.
So there was no wheel locking? There was. No. There was a guy, I thought, that did some sort of, went through and put some blockers on people's tires.
That would be incredibly tedious.
So then once you get to the other side, you're in France, you have to change which side of the road you drive on. So that was really interesting. There was a special loop-de-loop that they made you do, and then you end up driving on the right side. And where did we go first?
We went to Le Touquet, or I don't know how you pronounce that.
I think it's Le Touquet.
Le Touquet.
Le Touquet, which was like a surfing...
The touch, it means the touch.
It's a surfing place. It was right on the beach. There were a lot of surfers, even though it was cold weather. Cold water as well. But they were all in their wetsuits. It was cold,
we went to the local village and bought some bread and some wine and some cheese and had that right on the beach. Because our hotel room, you could slide open the window and the beach was right.
You can climb out
of the window and go right onto the beach.
So then, on a whim, because we only had 2 days off, right? It was a weekend.
I think so. We went on a Friday.
Yeah, we didn't try to take any special work days off. So the next day decided, let's drive into Paris. Which is a 6-hour drive? 4 hours?
I think it was 4 or 4 to 5, something like that.
And I'm sad I wouldn't go, but I'm alone and I need you now. Share my bad feeling. That God.
The windmill. Le moulin. The windmill. So we decided to drive all the way into Paris.
Into the heart of Paris, right into the Eiffel Tower,
the Arc de
Triomphe. I think it's a good thing that no one told us about the Arc de Triomphe, but apparently it's the craziest roundabout in the whole wide world. I don't know if the rules are like this for the rest of France, but unlike in the UK where the people in the roundabout have the right of way, in the Arc de Triomphe, the people entering the roundabout have the right of way. So, if you're coming into the roundabout, you can just keep on going in. And many people don't even look to the left as they're entering. By the way, so since you're driving on the right side, the roundabout goes counterclockwise. So you're entering and you need to look left because that's where the cars are coming, but you don't. Many people I saw didn't do that. They're just entering the roundabout because they know they have the right of way. But then exiting is kind of crazy. Because you have...
It's like multi-lane too. It's like 4 lanes.
There were no lanes. No, I didn't see any lane divisions.
Yeah, there were no lanes. It was just like stacked up.
And there were 4 lanes.
With 4 different, like, space for 4 different cars, all like next to each other, right? It was really messy.
It was messy. Let's just say it was messy.
The hard part was getting out. Like, you had to find a window where people weren't coming in. And obviously it would get backed up, and then you have to kind of squeeze your way through to get out of the roundabout. But it just came upon us so suddenly we didn't even know where we were going. We didn't even know we were going up to the Arc de Triomphe until it was there. So
but we made it in fine, made it out fine, and we parked somewhere near the Eiffel Tower. and walked towards the Eiffel Tower, which was nice, although it's a little grimy and grungy. Is grungy the right word? It was kind of littered on the way there. And then we walked all the way to the Louvre through some really spectacular gardens and green area. And the architecture and statues and art hung about, or the statues everywhere were amazing. It's a beautiful, beautiful city. What's really fascinating that I've read about is the Japanese, and when they visit Paris, there's actually a syndrome or a mental disorder that the Japanese people experience when they go to Paris for the first time, because they have this incredible romantic, cartoony vision of Paris, that it is sparklingly beautiful and clean and perfect and pristine. But when they get there and they see the litter and they see the grime, they have a mental breakdown, apparently. The Japanese government has apparently sent people over to clean up Paris, in part, not all of it clearly, but to help, protect the mental health of its citizens as they come to visit Paris. So that's just a little tidbit I found really hilarious about Paris. France is a fascinating country in that, it's one of those Catholic countries, or used to be Catholic countries, that had the monarchy, and then the monarchy got ended by a violent overthrow, and they killed the monarchs, basically, just like they killed the czars in Russia, and so many places around the same time, monarchs are being killed by the village or the people. And what they've put in its stead is something completely different. Look at this. This is what it is right here. Oh, I was just there to see the pretty dresses and the nice... the moment I talk about real history, the yawns start coming. But anyway, I think of Paris and I think, you guys killed monarchs for this. You guys killed kings for this. And now recently there was a statue to Joan of Arc has been graffitied, and there's all this madness to take statues down that represent evil. Pre-French Republic France, I mean, Charlemagne, the greatness of French kings and generals is stunning and amazing. And to think that all that has been replaced by, excuse us if we offend any Frenchmen, but I mean, even if you think of World War I, the French held the line for a long time, with so many soldiers that lost their lives and so much blood was spilled, French blood, and it's amazing how different things are now. But anyway, I'm going off on a wild tangent here. Let's go back to our trip.
We went and ate somewhere really nice, right?
We did. I was expecting to face some French snobbery, though, but we never experienced it.
Yeah. They always tell you French people are...
Don't speak American English, because they'll...
And don't attempt to speak French, they say.
Yeah.
But they know the service was friendly. It was friendlier than the British service we had received by that point.
Yeah.
And then we had to turn around. We were only there for about 3 hours.
Yeah, an afternoon.
Paris, yeah. And then we had to drive all the way back because it was 4 hours to the Chunnel. Chunnel's like another hour, right? 45 minutes?
Yeah, 45 minutes.
And then from there we had to drive all the way back to where we live. So it was a whole day of driving back.
One last message in case any Frenchmen were hurt. Remember, we Americans love you for helping us win independence.
Absolutely.
If you ever go to the United States, you can't imagine how many roads, cities, and towns are named Lafayette. It's unbelievable. Lafayette, the French nobleman, I think 19 when he came over to America, became a general almost immediately and helped train Americans and win great battles. So it's we're very thankful. It's one of our oldest alliances, if not our oldest alliance. So don't feel hurt. We love you, Frenchmen. We just wish you would return to the monarchy.
The other thing is that we both learned French in school, right? In high school.
Oui, oui, mon ami.
Je parle en français un peu.
Je ne parle français.
Je ne sais pas.
Oh yes. I mean, it was a difficult time. It was a difficult class for me. It sounded too close to Spanish for me to be interested in it.
Why did you take Spanish?
Because
like easy A.
Because of my heritage, they required that I would take Spanish for Spanish speakers. So it would be like deciding to take AP English or something. And I wasn't that ambitious as a student.
I thought French sounded more sophisticated than Spanish, and that's why I took it. But I'm really glad I did, because I did very well at university with French diction. When you sing in French, my teacher would always say, I can tell that you've taken French. And I love French music, French impressionistic music, like Debussy and...
Debussy.
Debussy?
Yes.
Not Debussy.
That's how we say it in America. Get it right.
Please. Forêt.
Croissant.
I'm missing a big one.
Beethoven, Bach, Mozart, all the greats.
Anyway, we would love to go back. That was my first time in France. So, and we only spent 2 days at the most there.
No, it was. I think it was like 3 days, wasn't it? Didn't we spend 2 nights in that hotel? In the beach?
Maybe, maybe.
If you like what you've seen, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, or also comment underneath. The subscribe button is right here. See ya.
Bye.